Hi, my name's Nick Jarvis, and welcome to Light Minds. So, Light Minds is about helping people to lose weight and get into great shape. And we follow certain principles behind really the experience of life. And as we understand more about these principles, so we can begin to see the implications these have on our weight loss journey, on how things could be different for us around our mindset. And so I'm going to look in this video again at the implications of the principles. And I've done it in a previous one, but I'll keep coming back to it. So let me share my screen. I keep coming back to it because really this is what is happening in life. And once you get a better understanding of it, then things can quite quickly shift for you. So the first thing is you're just doing what you do. Okay. And you're doing what makes sense to you with the understanding you have in that moment on a deep level. So from moment to moment, with the understanding you have, you're doing what makes sense to you. Okay. So that's just the way it is. And I say that because often we've got to get over ourselves. We think we should be doing something different when we don't, and we haven't. And that's one of the barriers itself, is we think all the time about should. And that's because of our conditioning and how we've learned. But we can unlearn that. For example, and I've referred to some of these on other videos, way back when in South America, some of the tribes then used to sacrifice people to the gods, believing that would bring good luck, maybe more than good luck, to the tribe. Well, we know slightly differently today. And in the 1850s, people believed that illness was caused by smells, miasmas. And we know slightly differently today. And in particularly the 50s and 60s, lots of people smoked. Doctors even advocated it at one point. Now we know differently. We make sense. So we evolve all the time. It's really important to understand that that's happening naturally. This is the evolution of humankind. And it's the same for you. You have the ability to continually evolve, to continue to develop. Now, I put on here, I titled this slide, The New Way. It's the original way. It's actually the way. But people see it as a new way because we've lost sight of how we learn and develop. And I love this quote from Mark Twain. If we learn to walk and talk the way we learn to read and write, everybody would limp and stutter. You have something inside yourself that enables you to develop, to grow in the best way for you. When you see into that, things can have a huge shift for you. And seeing is the most important word. It's about raising your awareness of what is really going on. See, most of the time, our awareness, we sense, is being controlled by something way beyond, not our awareness, who we are, what we're doing. We think it's being controlled by something way beyond, deep down within us. And we're unaware of what is really going on. And as we become more conscious of things, they change. So I've seen this analogy used. I don't know if you've been to Disney. I've been to Disney. But if you look at this hotel then, the Disneyland Hotel, you'll see that there is a lift on the outside of it. Whoops. There's a lift on the outside of the hotel. And if you're down on the ground floor of the lift, and you looked around yourself, you would have one perspective. That's just all you could see, is the things on the ground floor, the things that are close to you. But go up a couple of floors and you'll see down again, and you'll see that there's a cafe there. Oh, there's a cafe here. You can see the cafe. The perspective is different. Go up a bit further, you'll be able to see the swimming pool, and you'll be able to see the grounds. See, each time your awareness rises up, you see things from a different perspective. And this is really what I'm helping you to do. And this is the basis of Light Minds, is to help you to see things afresh, see things new. And as you see things new, certain things will happen to you. Now, as you can imagine, as you get to the top of this hotel, the lift's looking out, you can see way beyond. You can see all the other hotels. You can see all the rides that are going on, the whole area of Disneyland. Your perspective is very, very different. Now, that's not to say that once you get up there, that the lift stays there. It doesn't. The lift goes up and down, as you'll be aware of your awareness. It goes up and down. It's just being aware that it's going up and down. It's changing. That's an important point. And as this grows, things begin to shift for you. Now, what happens is you begin to get clarity. Now, think about this. If you had that muddy glass of water on the right and you wanted to clear it, would you put it in a kettle and boil it? That's what a lot of people do. When they can't see things, they get more and more frustrated. It's like putting it in the water in a kettle. It doesn't settle. But if you just let it, give it time, it settles down and then you get clear water. That's what we're talking about here in the Light Minds program. As you begin to understand the principles behind your experience, what happens is your mind settles down from all of this revved up thinking that you've got going on. It settles down bit by bit, and you see things very differently. Now, when you see things differently, that opens up to huge possibilities from this place of clarity. From the place of clarity, you'll see very, very different things. Things are fresh. And this place of clarity is there, accessible for all of us at all the time. Sometimes I use this analogy of the sky and the weather. You see, in the sky, there can be some clouds, little thoughts that are running around. But then sometimes they build up, don't they? They build up, more clouds appear. You get more agitated. I can't do this. Why can't I do this? I should be able to do this. Then it turns into a bit more of a storm. Ah, no, this is terrible. I'm a bad person. I should be better than this. What do people think of me? And then it turns into a complete nightmare. And we kind of get stalled and embroiled in this storm that is going on in our heads. The thing is, folks, the blue sky is always there. Although we might have this thought storm, this revved up thinking going on, the blue sky is always there. That is before we start thinking about how bad we are, how we can't do stuff, how we should be doing things differently, what people will think about us. That's all the thought storm. Behind that, though, lies the blue sky. You come from that place. And when you allow the thought storm to calm down, you open up to clarity. You see things differently. And that's where you gain insights from this place of clarity. Archimedes here shouting Eureka, discovering supposedly the principle of buoyancy. He's lying in the bath. How many of you have been having a shower or something, or lying in the bath for that matter, driving the car or taking a walk in the garden, and you just suddenly realize something? Newton and the principle of gravity, he was sitting under a tree and an apple bounced on his head. Wake up. You see, that's when things come to us, don't they? When we're in a place of clarity. So what we try to do is get to that place. Now, I said that wrong, actually. Try. It's always there. When we allow our thoughts to settle down, when the chatter of the voices that are going on continually in our head, when we get rid of all of this chatter, when we let that go, and that's one little voice, and we've got tons of these little voices, when we let them go, what happens? Things settle down, we see things differently. That's where our innate well-being comes. It flows through us. The intelligence behind life. And that's what Light Minds is all about. It's helping you to gain that clarity so you can see things differently. To do that, it comes from a light mind. And it would be really great if you joined us in the program. But it might not feel right for you at this moment in time. And that's okay too. But if you did, it'd be good to see you. Thanks very much.